Pom, and as they say, pom pom. Hello, it is I'm back. I was planning to be back last Friday, but somebody decided somewhere that South Wales is very short. You know, the distance from the edge of South Wales to the midway along the coast is only about 56 miles, but it took me something like 2 hours to do those 56 miles. What we got here? We're all going to die? Yeah, well, that's a larger issue, but yes, we are by the spy from TF2. Maybe so. Maybe that is the Grim Reaper. Maybe that is so. Oh yeah, I need to turn the music down a bit, don't I? Just a bit. That's probably about right. Standing around like a bloody idiot. I did leave a message to say, unfortunately, I have got home far too late to actually do a service. How was the wife? The wife is fine at the moment. We're all very hot, and she takes a medication that makes it very difficult for her, well, not very difficult, impossible for her to control her own body temperature. So in 30-degree heat in the UK, you can imagine how she's going. Not so good. It was great. It was great. It was great. Probably is great. It will be great. So yes, here we are, the 20th of Bloon. Isn't Australia just better than Wales in every way? Yes. Australia, is it better than Wales in every way? In every way? Yeah, it might be. It might be. They've got very strict customs and excise and immigration. It's not that easy. So, you know, you'd expect that if they had a good thing going, they'd do those things. So probably. So there we go. Yes, so here we are, 20th of Bloon, confusion. Sorry, I can't type, I got testicles. Yeah, that's like I say, well, we're having Chinese food in a bit. My wife has noted that the sweet and sour balls that we got tonight are a bit floppy and soft. And I'm saying, wow, it's hot weather. I myself have noted and said, moist balls. So it's a common complaint in this weather. So yeah, we've got it all going on. It's really, really hot here in the UK. So there's a big disclaimer. There we go. I'll put it there. You can read it. Are you against immigration? Am I against immigration? No, not particularly. We've just had a big live social experiment going off in the UK. Are you happy being here? Am I happy being in South Wales? Yeah, the thing is that although it is true that Australia is better than South Wales in just about every way, Wales is better than England in just about every way. You know, so that's good. Oh, here on the stream, am I here happy being here? I'm happy enough, but I'll tell you something. 23 doesn't like the heat. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. Although I am very hot. So, you know, we're going to proceed accordingly. Of course, it is the longest day of the year, the summer solstice tomorrow. Unless they've cheated again and said that it's today. I don't know, sometimes it's the 20th. Sometimes it's the 21st. Whatever. You missed 23. 23 will be back when it's not absolutely baking. It hasn't been that long. I'm sure we've done it somewhat recently, like 3 weeks ago or something. I'm pretty sure I put a 23 in there. I'm pretty sure I did. I am pretty sure. So we'll move on here. Order of service. Deep Thoughts course. Kandar, get your questions ready for answers. They might not be the answers you want, but they're the answers you're going to get. We have a new feature, as mandated by the goddess, the World of Chaos. Sort of Discordian news and views, really. Then we have the Reflective Tarot, Weekly Sacrament, and on we go. I look especially tomato-ish today. I am imagining that I do. Because the thing is, before I was here, I was sat downstairs. We have also, it's 7 p.m. here in the UK, the hottest part of the day is just ending, like, right now. Like, right this instant, it's starting to slope off. I'm sat with my window open behind me. You can see there's a flappy curtain here. Well, you might not be able to see it, actually. But there is a flappy curtain, and there's a nice breeze. But before this, I was sat downstairs where we've had to artificially create a breeze with a fan. Why are you smaller than normal? I don't know. I mean, there isn't a zoom on the camera or anything. I don't know. Or maybe the screen has got a bit. Okay, how about that? Is that better? Yeah, cool. I mean, my head is obviously the same size because my cap, my deacon's cap, still fits the same way as always. So, you know, I haven't actually changed size for death because the things that I have are the same. But I don't know. Maybe the camera got moved somewhere. Maybe I knocked the laptop. Maybe my chair is further back. Okay. Done everything that I can to make myself larger. Maybe in case a predator is coming and I want to scare them away. So there we are. So that's the order of service. So we're going to go straight to Deep Thoughts. The Deep Thought this week is they're titled Resist or Don't. And let's get Wales back on track and let's establish the Welsh people's Democratic Republic. I mean, it's not like we haven't had a go here in Wales. Like I say, we have our own assembly. I think there's a thing where having a parliament and then calling it an assembly. Like that's in the UK when we have like morning announcements and stuff. We gather everyone into a hall and they call that an assembly. So I think that maybe the Welsh Parliament made a boo-boo in calling themselves the assembly because it just makes it sound like something that happens in a primary school. So there we go. In Norway the temperature is about it's about 30 degrees here. Is it a wet heat or a dry heat? Because I'll tell you, it's a bloody wet heat here. I went to the Canary Islands once and was amazed that you went into the shade and it was cooler. But here in South Wales, the water in the atmosphere just spreads that heat. It's just like a big cloud of... So it doesn't matter, not even, you know. Breaking news, the Queen of England has died. What really know? Well, okay. I mean, there has to be something wrong with that. Because technically the monarch is the monarch of the United Kingdom. So England itself has no queen. So yeah, maybe Freddie Mercury was, but of course he was Indian. So yeah, but broadly speaking, the last queen that we had, we broke her. Yeah, and now we have a king, sort of. I mean, when we had a queen, people just wouldn't stop talking about what the queen was doing. Now we've got a king, and nobody cares. I mean, that's actually the truth. So there we go. The king is going to die. The king is at some point going to die. That is a understood fact. And do you know what? Yeah, it probably isn't going to be that long. India and England, what's the difference? Well, India has cool food and is better than cricket. Better at cricket than England. Have you ever met the king? I have not. But when he wasn't the king, when he was the Prince of Wales, my wife did once serve him tea for reals. When did you meet him? I didn't. Do you have matching tattoos? No, I don't have any tattoos. Well, actually, I do. I have matching tattoos because I'm pretty sure that the current king doesn't have any tattoos either. So our tattoos match exactly in that we don't have them. I met the King of Norway, played music for him. You see, now that's cool. You're like a court jester, whereas my wife was just like a waitress. So, you know, you probably win. Although it's, she did say it is kind of different being a waitress when you got a sniper trained on you in case you get up to any funny business. So yeah, there we go. Cool. Right. What is the deep thought about? I should probably just get that out. What I have noticed and what is true, right? So as we all know, why aren't you the Duke of Wales? Don't like the hours. Wasn't for me. They offered me the position, but I turned them down. Yeah, so as we know, Discordianism comes from the counterculture of the 1960s, and what I have noticed recently, and indeed what a lot of Discordian groups online kind of push as an agenda, is that Discordianism has kind of been tangled up with whatever's going on in politics. Now, many Discordian prophets have tried to point out that they are not left wing and left right wing. They are left cheek and right cheek. That is, they are of the same arse. Yeah, and really we shouldn't be taking these positions, right? Because it doesn't serve us, which is, about as true as it gets, right? But unfortunately, in pointing this out, you do also wander into the arena of the political. How does it feel to be the only Welsh male still alive today? I don't know what you've heard, but there are many Welsh males alive today and yesterday and probably tomorrow as well. One of them will be serving me coffee in the swimming pool tomorrow morning. Not in the swimming pool. I won't be in the swimming pool. My son's going for a swimming lesson. And the Welsh male, who is not my son is a Welsh male. So, also, I was born in York. So I'm not even technically Welsh. I'm technically English. I just happen to live in Wales. So yeah, so there we go. But yeah, so the basic message of this deep thought is that if you go into a social media platform and look at anything that says it's Discordianism, all the sniping from the right and left wings via memes that goes on in there, it's not necessarily that Discordian. Sorry, what's the deep thought? Didn't read. It says resist or don't. It's like supposed to be like a little pun, but not a pun, sort of a way of describing. Like, if you want to be Discordian and political, fine, yeah. And if you want to be political first and Discordian second, also fine. You were born in New York? No, I was born in Old York. Yeah, I don't resist. Fuck resisting. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, I'm not an activist by any stretch of the imagination, except of the mind. I'm an activist of chaos. Yeah, that's not resisting. That's just being weird and making people deal with it, which I don't count as resisting. But it's to do the job, I mean, it's like I speak the truth and only the truth. Yes, but you also lie incessantly and only lie. You also speak complete gibberish and only gibberish that makes no real sense. That is the lot of all men and women and possums. Yeah, so there we go. Right, so there is an Old York now. Well, there had to be kind of a Old York, so there could be a New York. Spewing lies again. It's on maps. You can't deny it. Ubisoft built a reconstruction of it in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They called it Jorvik because it was during the Viking times, but Jorvik became York. So yeah, there's a whole miniature Viking Jorvik. Wait, where is the Old York? Older York? It's in the north of England. Above Leeds, I think. It gets a bit hairy for me after I go past Nottingham. It's definitely above Sheffield, yeah, but below Newcastle on the eastern side, but not in the sea. What's a map? It's an imperfect database representation of a particular geographic location, but it's often hopelessly compromised. in order to give people directions to places instead of to truly model what's there. What about the older York? Again with the lies. I'm full of lies. I'm full of lies. I am the guardian of truth, and I speak utter rubbish that is nonsense, that is neither true nor false, but just meaningless all the time. No such thing as an old York. No, they just refer to it as York. They don't call it Old York, although they might. I used to live in Nottingham, which is just north of Gotham. You know, the Gotham. So there we are. Yoke. No, it's got nothing to do with eggs. Doke. Let's. In short, be political or not, but don't think it has anything to do with Discordianism. You are political and Discordian, not political because you're Discordian or Discordian because you're political. Nottingham, Nottingham, in the East Midlands of the United Kingdom. And thankfully there are plenty of question marks already there, so questions have been asked. So that's good. We've had questions, and my answer is, yeah, let's just go through them just so that I can confirm them. Right. I was born in New York. No, I was born in York. Spewing lies again. As I said, yes, lies, truth, meaninglessness, always, everything. What's a map? It's not the territory. Again with the lies, yes, we already covered that in the spewing lies question. Yoke, no thanks, I've got Chinese food waiting for me. Nottingham, yes. And when, what, why, if. If we're going to do that, we're not doing that. When did you decide to come out as a man? It was April 5th, 1975. I understand round about 2:30 in the afternoon. So yes, well, that was more of a baby thing, and I naturally fell into being a man due to possessing a male sexual organ that was my own. It wasn't like in a jar or anything. It was attached to me. Now I know that that's not compulsory. You don't have to. You could be like, well, that's the hand I'm dealt, but it's not the hand I want. I know that's fine. Yeah, but I just literally fell into, you know, my gender identity without thinking too much about it. And honestly, did I kind of regret that? I don't know about regret, but I think it would be better if people did. You know, even if you're like, oh, good, I happen to have been born, insert gender here, and I'm quite happy to be that gender. I feel that that's good. So you met Karl Marx? No, I didn't meet Karl Marx. And even if I had, all I'd have been able to say to him is, well, break wind, be sick, you know. Fuck the gender shit. Fuck the furries. Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. Fuck everyone. Okay, very liberal of you. I mean, I personally, at least literally, wouldn't go there. You know, I'm actually quite isolationist. I'm just like, nah, got other things to do. Busy. But anyway, yeah, so there we go. We've just been in there. So I came out as a man. I just fell into it. It was just like I didn't ask any questions. And I'm fine with it, to be honest. It's fine by me now. And it always was. So there we go. Oh yeah! It's the world of chaos. Let's make it big. World of chaos. Aggression is a foolish man's word. That sounds like some kind of lyric, but I have to qualify that. Not a point game. Oh yeah, we're still doing points, aren't we? I've discovered a lot in this Saints period, but you're going to have to wait until July, wherever it was, 25th, I think it is, to find out exactly what. It might be 22nd actually. Anyway, whenever it is, that is when we're going to find out about the points. But yeah, you can have a point for remembering that we're doing points. Every week I am literally scouring the internet for people to give Discordian points to, and it's really difficult. Doing something positively Discordian is quite hard. Does the text in the note say World of Chaos? Yes, it does. Why would it say that? Because that's the name of the feature. We'll move on. So yeah, in the World of Chaos this week. Why would it say that? Now I have... Yeah, you probably do, TF2 Real Gamer 2022. Well done for keeping track. What's going on in the World of Chaos this week? Well, actually, the past 2 weeks it's pretty much been the same sort of stuff. Oh no, actually this one I had to change. Last week it was going to be games will be $80 now. That's US dollars. But now it's games won't be $80 now, because Borderlands 4 came out and everyone expected it to be $80. But it was only 70. Whew, dodged a bullet there. And from a Discordian point of view, of course, none of this matters, which is, if you take the Discordian view, which is, of course, the correct view, we could say, look, if a game does well when it comes out at $70 or even $80 or whatever it is, then within 2 years it'll be on sale as a Game of the Year edition and it will cost less than $20. Okay? So that's fine. Like, you're only paying for newness. You're only paying for novelty. The games industry has backed itself into a corner where what you pay for most of the time is novelty. You know, oh, it's new. Nobody's really got this, so you'll pay top whack. Yeah? So that's all you're paying for. So if you're happy to not pay for novelty, you'll get it cheap at some point. Because the other option is that the game does badly, and then they make a deluxe edition with all the DLC in it, and usually within about 18 months you'll be able to get that for less than $20. That's just what happens. That's the life cycle. As soon as a game isn't shiny anymore, they toss it to the curb and sell it for beans. So who cares how much they think it's worth when it's new? Either everyone will not pay the new price and then we get deluxe editions, or with certain games people will pay the new price and then we get Game of the Year editions, and they're both under $20. You just have to wait for them. So what's the point? That is the games industry in a nutshell right now. And the other major news item, just pirate the game. You see, now I just don't, because I want to establish with people, one, don't pirate games, but two, don't pay more than $20 for games. I've got lots of games that I've legitimately bought within the system, because the system just isn't that broken. If you're going to pirate a game, you're just pirating because you don't want to pay for novelty. Although I do understand that people are poor. So once you get to the point where they've basically kicked the game to the curb anyway, yeah, whatever. Since it's summer, there are so many American tourists in my country. So goddamn loud and annoying. Yeah, that's a thing, I believe, that has been said. A cliche so cliched that it is, you know, filled with truth. So yeah, so the other headline is no one wants to go outside anymore, which is largely true, although obviously American tourists in Australia / New Zealand, that's all beside the point. They are outside, but in a different country, which just goes to prove to you that they don't want to be outside in their own country. There's like one camping car for one car, they are everywhere. Oh right, so half the cars on the road are camping cars. Interesting. But people generally, like the Ute and older people and everyone else, they don't want to go to bars. Yeah, bars will tell you all day how people don't want to go to bars. The only problem is you'd have to go into the bar to ask people, but if you did, they'd say, no one comes in the bar anymore. It's too expensive, you see. The booze is much cheaper to buy at the supermarket and drink at home, which is fine, yeah. Movie theatres, people don't want to go to them anymore ever since, you know, there was a pandemic or something in 2020. They've never really recovered, you know. I mean, usually you could just wait for it to come on streaming. You know, it's the novelty thing, you know. Like movie theatres, just people don't want to go to them, which is weird because I do. It's one of the few places I do make an exception. I go to movie theatres to watch stuff, but actually it's quite supportive that nobody wants to go to them. Because if I went and it was packed, I'd be like, oh, what have I done? But actually, they are quite right. Nobody wants to go to them. I went to watch Thunderbolts a couple of weeks ago. Just before it left cinemas, there were 2 other people. There's me and my wife and my son and 2 other people in the whole cinema. It's not a small cinema either. So, yeah. Sorry, we call them cinemas because we're like fancy and near France. So there we go. Gigs. Nobody wants to go gigs. That's usually because the price for gigs starts at round about £200 now. And there's scalpers and, like all sorts of stuff. Badly organised gigs where artists don't turn up or bits of the staging falls on people or they get crushed or something. Yeah, nobody wants to go to gigs because it's too expensive and it's an actual hazard to health and you might get ripped off anyway. So, school, people don't want to go to school. That's the thing. Everyone's just said no to going outside. They don't want to go outside. And honestly, I can't blame them because outside is rubbish. And the final point is that, of course, you can stay at home and be K from Blade Runner 2 at 2049. That's an option now. Men are marrying AI girlfriends who just are endlessly, vapidly, non-existently supportive to them. Also, apparently, it's a great draw that you can be horrendously abusive to them and they don't care because they're made out of AI. So, that's it. I didn't have time to put this in today, but it seems that the AI honeymoon is very definitely coming to an end. It turns out that all data from 2022 onward is tainted for the purposes of training AIs. Yeah. Because that's when ChatGPT started despoiling all the data sets with its own inputs. And apparently it's like cloning. If you train AI on data that was created by an AI, the data gets inbred. We got inbred data now. So, and that's taken 3 years. 3 years to go from all the data's fine to all the data from this point forward is hopelessly contaminated and it's going to kill your AI if you feed it that data. It's going to get like mad AI disease or something. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to become an engineer, an AI engineer, get rich, then just fuck them over when I have the power. The problem is you're quite young and you're still in school. By the time you get out of school, that won't even be an option. Did you not hear what I just said? It's taken us 3 years from look at this new cool AI stuff to when we introduced that we really shouldn't have because now we've poisoned our own well and AIs can't be trained anymore on the data because the RAI has just absolutely rinsed all the data sets from 2022. You want to get data from 2023, 2024, all you're going to end up with is with an R-word AI. That's what you're going to end up. I have to be plain here. The data is tainted, bro. So yeah, we've already, that's crazy, yeah? Like, AI is going to take your job. AI has taken your job. AI has become stupid. Now, the job you were going to have with AI has been ruined because of AI. And in fact, AI itself has become ruined because of AI. Wow, world of chaos indeed. So we're here. Reflective Tarot. Reflective Tarot. That's my new song for Reflective Tarot. You heard it here first. I wrote it like literally just now. I'm probably never going to remember it or do it again. So just as usual, of course, I have the deck, shuffled it 5 times. Can we play Worldy? What's that? I don't know what that means. And then, of course, I cut the deck to raise the card that we're supposed to have to the top. I will take that from the top of the deck. None of us know what it is. What is the vibe, the word game Wordle. Ah, right. I understand. No, not today. Not today. I'm not saying never, but not today. Because it's too hot. I'm not introducing new segments in. I'm going through the segments that I've got, and then I'm going to go and sweat somewhere in a corner. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? But, yeah, I like word games, but I'm not sure it's really the service. You know, if I had more time, if we all had more time. I'm actually thinking of, I asked you that 32 months ago, still no. Yeah, but, you know, well, okay, if I cannot think of a good reason not to, then it'll happen, alright? But I was thinking I might like to do some streaming, because I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion at the moment, and my opinion of the game runs exactly counter to literally everyone else's opinion ever on the internet, who are all like, oh, it's broken, it doesn't work properly, it's no fun, it's boring, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm having a whale of a time. But then I realised I'm not playing it like if you're going to do a video essay about it, or you're going to review it, you're going to play it in a way that I am not playing it. I am playing it in a completely like, well, this seems like a good idea to do this right now. Where I just do, you know, what I want. I'm not really targeting the content with this stuff. And I'm having such a good time with it. And I'm like, I want to stream, say, look, hey, look, everyone, someone's having a good time with Watch Dogs Legion. Hey, over here, Watch Dogs Legion, there's a guy having fun with it over here. You know, I could just imagine the people like absolutely like, there's a guy over here, he says Watch Dogs Legion isn't just mid, boring and terrible. He's actually playing it and having a good time. What a freak. Come and watch the freak show. So yeah, I am considering it, but I probably won't, because I don't really have a lot of time for that kind of activity. But I am, so you can take my word for it. I am. So what's the card? What's the vibe? It is! Oh, well, that's a thing. Alright then. Right. If I was going to say which card I expected to see tonight, this would have been right at the bottom of the list. So Justice. Justice is obviously one of the major arcana, because it's not like suited and booted and all that. And it's like, as I say, one of the loud secrets, so the vibe is very strong. And it's a card about balance, but not like, so it's not like, so we human beings have appropriated the concept of justice to the extent that thousands of years ago someone else, a philosopher, had to invent the concept of natural justice. Yeah, to say, is there cosmic justice? Yeah, is there any concept where we don't have to manufacture? So there's the law, yeah, that's a man-made entity, but the law is our way of trying to express justice for citizens in a state. Yeah, so this is not the card of law of any sort, not LAW, not LORE. This is a card of justice, which is a kind of ideal of the expression of law. And so the vibe here is like, so as well as which, yeah, if you get justice, yeah, the tendency is for it to be somewhat hard hitting, because justice is hard. And so that's why I'm like, really? In the last week of Bloon, in this year of our chaotic lady, 2025, we're getting a justice vibe. Check out my website, HTTP localhost 3000. Yeah, I don't run anything on that, but there we go, cool. So that's the vibe, justice vibe for the week. I'm interested to see whether that vibe even works out. I mean, not every reflective tarot can be a bomb, right? But I'll certainly be keeping my eyes out for the justice vibe. I guess I'll have to report back. It's that time! We're doing it. It is time for the weekly sacrament. Get your consumable ready, because it sure is time. These now, weirdly, okay, I just want to say that these little sacramental hot dog replacements right here are basically just sugar. Yeah. You got to take two because you weren't here last week. No, you partake of I could go off alone joyously and partake of a hot dog by myself without doing the service. This is just an opportunity for communal sacrament inhalation. So there we go. So yeah, so I take one on a Friday. That's how it works. I happen to do it in stream most Fridays, but yeah, okay. So yeah, these are mostly sugar, but yeah, they have an expiration date, and the expiration date was last November. But I'm like, are you kidding me, guys? It's just sugar. Sugar doesn't rot. So I'm taking two. Eris said so. That's fine. If Eris told you to take two, you should take two. So yeah, we of course partake in the mantra. I could not find a hot dog, not even with a bun. So I ingest this random consumable because devotion comes with fun. Hey, Eris. All hail Discordia. A great moment of consideration of all that Chaos has done for us. Blocked up the M4 last Friday and is absolutely roasting me this Friday. That's Chaos for you. That's what Chaos does for us all. Stops us from getting home and then roasts us to death alive. So there we go. Cool. But hey, at least there's a new Marvel Cinematic Universe series coming on Disney Plus next week. That's also Chaos. So there we are. That was all that there is. And jolly lucky everyone was that I could even that I didn't pass out. And what did somebody say? I look like a tomato. I do look like a tomato. A shiny, moist tomato. Flipping terrible weather. But, my heart has been enfolded and enwarmed by the congregation here in the E-Chapel tonight, enjoying the Discordian vibe. And yeah, last week was just awful. It was raining as well. 1 week ago it was cold and raining and you couldn't drive anywhere. And this week it is not cold or raining, but you still can't drive anywhere because you bloody cook in your car. So there we go. So and with that weirdly carrion bird noise, I think that we can say we have honoured Eris tonight, and thank you all for coming with me. Hail Eris, or hail Discordia.